Hi, I'm Mark Anderson, a loan officer with Cornerstone Mortgage based in St. Louis, Missouri. I hold a residential mortgage license in Missouri, Illinois, and in Kansas. I'm shooting today from my home office in St. Louis. What I wanted to do today was share some of the fundamental differences between your typical mortgage application, which you'll see normally on a competitor's website. It'll say something like apply now, apply here. The difference between what you're going to experience going that route versus what's available on my website, which is a comprehensive mortgage consultation. The difference really boils down to the focus of those two things. On one hand, the typical mortgage application, it's primarily about you supplying a whole slew of really private, kind of confidential information for the purposes of determining whether or not you'll be approved for a certain kind of loan. Now, this is all stuff that if you decided to move forward with us for a particular loan, we're going to end up needing all the same information at the end of the day. But to me, it's putting the cart before the horse. What a mortgage consultation is for me boils down to three main components. There's education, analysis, and results. The education component is my chance to ask you a lot of questions that simply do not appear on the application itself. We're going to talk about how much money you've got available for down payments. Let's take that amount of money and make sure that you're leaving room left over for expenses that you may incur after you move into the home. Let's talk about how long you plan to live in this house. The loan that's going to be right for you if you plan to live somewhere for your whole life versus if you're moving somewhere on a temporary basis. Those are going to be two different kinds of loans. And it's important for me to ask the question as far as your timeline of ownership to determine which option is going to make the most sense for you. So after we go through a series of educational components, what we go into is the analysis. The analysis really boils down to, let's take maybe 2 or 3 different loan options that we've come up with after the education phase. And let's look at those now in terms of your monthly payment, how much you're going to have to come to closing with. Let's then look at what your financial picture looks like a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 5 years, 10 years, etc. Let's look at how much interest you're going to spend over that period of time. Let's look at your potential tax savings on the mortgage interest over that period of time. Let's look at how that mortgage affects your overall financial picture over those different mile markers. And finally, the results section. A typical mortgage application, loan officers tend to be very optimistic kinds of folks that want to kind of cross their fingers and send your loan application into underwriting. I, again, view that a little bit differently. What I attempt to do in the mortgage consultation is after we've covered education, after we've covered the analysis, once you're ready to kind of move forward with the final stage of the consultation, let's really look at your file like an underwriter would. Let's get a good handle on your income, on your assets, and let's make absolutely certain that the loan that we're applying for in advance is a loan that you're going to be approved for. And that's a component of my services that I pride myself on, is really attempting to view the file in the same way that an underwriter ultimately will, rather than simply throwing it into the machine and seeing what comes out the other end. So that's a quick comparison between your typical loan application and mortgage consultation. You can visit me on my website at www.markandersonmortgage.com. You can also call or text me anytime at 314-599-0511. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you.